coconut cake, cruise control. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Regular viewers of my work know that the narcissist, usually subconsciously, but sometimes with awareness, where you're dealing with an aware narcissist, seeks the prime aims, that is, control, fuel, character traits, and residual benefits. The role of people is to cater to one or more of those prime aims. The psychopath seeks out the necessary triad: control, stimulation, and accumulation. And if you'd like to understand more about that, I would invite you to go to my sister channel, Narcissism and Psychopathy with H.G. Tudor, where I go into considerable detail about the necessary triad. Tom Cruise, an internationally famous individual, wealthy, with a plethora of movies, successful movies behind him, well-known Scientologist, and often viewed as a bit of a fruitcake. Nevertheless, you can't take away from him the fact that he is a highly driven individual that has succeeded, not only in terms of amassing considerable personal wealth, but also becoming a household name for a number of decades in relation to the films that he has created. He is a hugely successful individual. And as I've explained elsewhere, and the reasons why, he's a narcissistic psychopath. And we have an interesting way of understanding more about his behavior through, of all things, a coconut cake. Yes. Now, you should be familiar with the fact that a narcissist will use gifts for the purpose of attaining the prime aims. Delivering a gift or having a gift being delivered to somebody is part of the way that a narcissist would assert control, and similarly, a psychopath. It's seen as a benign act, providing the individual with a gift so that the gift receiver responds in a favourable and appreciative way, thus demonstrating that they are under control. For the narcissist, the favourable response also results in the provision of fuel. It might be, in certain instances, that the gift, which in effect is nothing more than a bribe, could elicit certain residual benefits also. For instance, an invitation to a particularly prestigious event or access to a particular network. Tom Cruise has utilised the giving of a gift, a $126 Christmas cake, as a means of asserting control, but it's become something much more than just the giving of the cake itself, which demonstrates a clever method of not only asserting control over those that are recipients with regard to their delight at receiving one, but also that this is publicised, enabling him to draw fuel from people's reactions to this act, to enable him to manage the facade of seemingly being this kind individual that gifts people cakes as a thank you, but also the way that he has elevated this particular form of gift giving into something that equates almost to a badge of honour. Almost as if it is a pass to an exclusive club. It's not just a gift in itself, but it represents something more, as you're about to hear. Sonia Horan and Natalie Hunter write for the Daily Mail. Tom Cruise's Christmas bundt cake is a coveted gift amongst Hollywood stars. The Mission Impossible star bestows the $126 coconut dessert to a number of lucky recipients on his holiday gift list each year. And this December, Mindy Kaling made the cut, with the actress proudly sharing a photo of the indulgent sweet treat. Accordingly, Cruise sends the cake, asserting control over the recipient, who is then moved to boast about the receipt of the cake. I'm in the club. I, too, have a Cruise coconut cake. Control is asserted over them, fuel is provided by virtue of their response, and it's not just a thank you that's issued to Tom Cruise, but there is the amplification of that by virtue of the recipient taking to social media to tell anybody that cares to look upon that social media, hey, look, I've received a cake from Tom Cruise. Isn't that great? And isn't he? Mindy Kaling posted a snap of the scrumptious cake just recently amongst her Instagram stories. IYKYK, she simply wrote on the image, which means if you know, you know. Each year, Cruise sends the pricey sweet delight to a list of Hollywood celebrities who he has worked with. Some stars have been on the list for decades, while others come and go. Thus, this is an excellent way for Cruise to signal to people whether they are painted white, you get a coconut cake, or you're painted black, you've been left off the list. Another one of Tom's lucky recipients this year was his Top Gun Maverick co-star, Glenn Powell, who shared a snap of the cake on his Instagram earlier this month. Powell has raved about the cake in the past, telling Jennifer Hudson on her talk show, "It's the most delicious cake you've ever had." This, of course, provides fuel. In fact, the actor and his friends enjoy the dessert so much he throws an annual party where he treats them to a bite of the cake. It just gets better for Cruise. He sends these cakes and one of the recipients hosts a party for people to taste it. My friends who have tried it, they love it so much that they hit me up right around December the 1st. Hey, has it arrived yet? So now I have a party at my house where I'll have the Cruise cake. It's my Cruise cake party. And I'll invite people over to try a bite or two. They can't get greedy. I really have to limit people. I can't let them come back for seconds. Not all stars remain so lucky. For instance, last year, Brooke Shields revealed that the past holiday season was the first time she hadn't received one of his famously delicious cakes in 10 years. I was on the list for a while. I had a good 10-year run, and I got the coconut cake every year, she said. It was from them and Suri. So it was the three of them, and then soon it was no Suri and no Katie and just Tom, Shields said. Then it went from just Tom for a while, but not every holiday, and then the cake stopped. She begged, "I want to get back on that cake list. It's the best cake, Tom. I need to be back on the cake list." Thus, for whatever reason, she becomes painted black, and she's left off the cake list. But note the reaction. It isn't Tom Cruise is an arsehole for not sending me a cake, but it's delicious. I want to be back on that cake list. I want to be included because being a recipient of this cake is just more than receiving something which appears to be a very tasty cake. It's about what it signifies. It's about recognition from one of the world's most famous film superstars, but it's also about being member of an exclusive Coconut Cake Club member. This is demonstrative of the power that is wielded by Tom Cruise. The games are always being played by him. It stimulates him to determine who should receive a cake, who should not. And then, with the instructions issued, out goes the cake. And he sits back and he watches. He watches the reactions of those that are enthused, drinking in the fuel from their Instagram posts and the hosting of their coconut cake cruise parties. He watches as there is the desperation from those who have not received them, comments upon the same, claiming that they want to be back in the club. All very edifying for Mr. Cruise. All delicious fuel and confirmation about the fact that they are very much under his control. He knows what he's doing. He knows why he's doing this. He's enjoying playing the game, seeing the way that he puppets the reactions of people, all revolving around a $126 cake. Apparently, the cake consists of a ring of moist, luxurious coconut bundt cake, chunks of sweet white chocolate, a layer of cream cheese frosting, and toasted coconut flakes on top. Apparently, Cruise has never eaten it himself. He doesn't eat sugar, demonstrating, of course, the need for control that he has with regard to his physical appearance and health. But the fact that he has this annual ceremony of the issuing of the cake and the fact that it makes the news, and the fact that it is reported on, and the fact that it is commented about by those who've received it and those who have not, demonstrates the high levels of control that Tom Cruise asserts over celebrities and other people that he have worked with, and that he's able to play these games, much to his stimulated satisfaction. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.